News 13 inside Las Vegas begins now.
Standoff at a local youth prison, and this isn't the first time the prison has had problems. We'll show you what happened. Plus, a major freeway here in the valley is closed down for the next 3 days. We'll have more on the jailhouse disturbance in a minute. Good evening, I'm Ken Hamilton. Kathy Ray's off tonight. If you have any plans to drive on Las Vegas highways this weekend, we have information you need to know. In just a few minutes, a big section of US 95 won't be drivable. Crews are demolishing the Torrey Pines bridge and shutting down the highway to do it. News 13's Dave Malkoff is live out there tonight. Dave, what's going on right now?
Well, Ken, it's all happening right now. They are preparing to knock down the Torrey Pines bridge over I-95 that is right down there. Now, you see these crews here, they are digging in this dirt here. What they're going to do is take the dirt. Think of this as the highway. When this multi-hundred-ton bridge comes crashing down, it's going to come right on the highway. So they put the dirt onto the highway, and then they break apart the bridge in pieces, and it will fall onto the highway without disturbing the roadway and without breaking apart anything that they need to fix later. Now, this is really history in the making, and one man was out here earlier tonight, a man who lives in the neighborhood, trying to document that history. In just about 2 hours, this bridge over US 95 will be history. Crews will cut the Torrey Pines bridge in half and just let it drop.
As you can see, this line here, that's the line, the ending line, that everything from this point on will go down.
Neighbor Roy Holland wants to capture it all on film.
I'm going to take some back this way.
Roy's lived near Torrey Pines for a long time.
Since 1962. Well, I'm trying to get just kind of like a photographic category of what's going on now, how the different stages of the bridge is being developed. Somebody might say, well, that was a big bridge at one time, and I'd say, yeah, that was, but look, this is what it used to be.
But nothing stays the way it used to be.
This is all desert when I came here. I was in the boonies when I first came here.
What used to be the boonies has been replaced by the fast-paced world of US 95.
I see about 10,000 cars coming down the freeway. Going both ways, almost bumper to bumper. It don't look like to me they're holding 55 either.
To make way, the bridge needs to go, so NDOT can make 95 wide enough to handle the traffic.
Hey,
Bob McKenzie, NDOT PR.
Roy Holland, I live right around the corner here.
Over the years, Roy's seen traffic increase beyond his wildest dreams. Now, it's almost too much for the road.
It's like having a bucket full of water. You keep pouring water in with two little tubes out of it, where's it going to go? It'll come over the top.
And that's what crews are trying to avoid.
Progress is progress. I guess we have to put up with it.
And we'll all have to put up with the detours all weekend long. And here's a live look at those detours. The road closed sign is up at Jones, and that is where you have to get off if you're on the one side of 95. But if you're on the other side of 95, you're going to have to get off at Rainbow, or even before that, if you can find a way to take surface streets around there, that's a good reason to get out of the traffic. It's going to be blocked up all weekend long. This happens at 1 a.m. this morning. This is all part of the I-95 widening project. It's going to take 5 years to do.
And Dave, they are busy behind you right now, and they also have plans to take down other bridges too, right?
Yeah, but that's going to be in the 5-year process. It's going to be the Valley View Bridge and also the Decatur Bridge, but they're not sure exactly when that's going to happen. It's going to happen sometime within that 5-year process.
All right, Dave Malkoff live tonight. Now, this is another look at the area that's being closed. If you're going north on 95, you can exit at Jones and head north to Washington. From there, turn west onto Washington, then head to Rainbow to catch 95 north. And if you're heading into town from Summerlin or 95 south, you need to take Rainbow south and follow the signs to northbound Jones. From there, you can get back onto US 95 south. Our other big story tonight, it was controlled chaos at the Summit View Youth Prison this afternoon. For more than 2 hours, teenage inmates stood around on the facility's roof, surrounded by dozens of law enforcement officers on the ground. Tonight, those inmates are being questioned about their actions and who's behind today's prison disturbance. News 13's Marc Martinez has more.
19 teenage inmates kept police at bay for nearly 3 hours.
I'm watching the front, keeping their heads down while they're making entry.
The disturbance started around 11 this morning when the teens somehow took over part of the maximum security jail.
We responded, 25 units responded to the facility and immediately started negotiating with the teens.
Officers carrying rifles armed with beanbags instead of bullets surrounded the inmates. That didn't seem to faze them as they taunted the officers and held weapons of their own. As temperatures soared above 100 degrees, police chose to wait it out, knowing the teens would eventually give themselves up. They finally did at almost 2 o'clock this afternoon. It seemed a lot longer than that for Michelle Goodman, whose husband works inside the jail.
Oh, I haven't talked to him. I heard his voice over the radio on the guy's back, so that's good to hear his voice, so I know he's okay.
With the uprising over, the questions are now just beginning. How did a group of teens manage to take over this jail, and where did they find the weapons to hold a police force at bay for so long? Prison officials spent the rest of the day interviewing the 19 inmates who took part in the uprising. They're hoping to find out who was behind the plan and what they hope to accomplish. Marc Martinez, News 13, inside Las Vegas.
And again, here's what we know about the prison. It has 96 beds and houses 13 to 18-year-olds. It opened 1 year ago today, costing $14 million to build. The teenage inmates have been found guilty of serious and violent crimes. In November, 2 juveniles escaped from the facility. 1 inmate surrendered immediately. Another ran across the roof, jumped from the 2nd story, and broke his ankle. Warden Major Smith says they'll do more head counts every day now, raising the number from 4 to 7. The mother of 4 gunned down in a drive-by shooting was buried today. Gwen Jones was shot last Friday while family and friends were attending a private memorial for her sister who had died of cancer. With an enormous show of support from the community, donations helped Jones get the burial she deserves. Dozens paid their respects to her today as she was laid to rest. 4 others were shot in Friday's drive-by shooting. Police still have no suspects. The local man accused of sexually abusing boys has accepted a deal tonight. Richard Taylor is charged with abusing 5 boys in his care at the Oasis Residential Treatment Center. His lawyers say Taylor is not admitting guilt by accepting the plea. Taylor will undergo psychological evaluation and could be placed on 5 years probation. He would also not be eligible to hold any job involving children. The source of yesterday's fire at the Gold Spike Hotel was a mattress fire in a 3rd-floor guest room. The fire was contained to that room, but smoke spread throughout the hotel. Las Vegas firefighters say it looks as if the fire either started because somebody was smoking in bed or it was started on purpose. But right now the cause is officially still unknown. 17 people were injured. 2 remain in the hospital tonight in fair condition. News 13 has learned that a top aide of Las Vegas Mayor Oscar Goodman has been arrested for domestic battery. And it's not the first time Bill Cassidy has been charged. News 13 investigative reporter Glen Meek has the exclusive story.
William Cassidy worked as a private investigator for Oscar Goodman before Goodman became mayor. The 2 are seen together in this British documentary Mob Law. When Goodman took office, Cassidy went on the public payroll as the mayor's special assistant. Now, police reports obtained by News 13 show Cassidy was arrested early this morning for domestic battery.
I spoke to him this morning. He called me up and told me about the arrest, and I told him that if in fact the accusation was correct, that I will not tolerate any domestic violence allegations with anybody associated with me in the mayor's office.
Cassidy has made news before. The city disciplined him for abusing his cellular telephone privileges. He was accused of threatening a private eye for the Ted Binion estate while taking time off from the city to work on behalf of murder defendant Rick Tabish. And Cassidy's had domestic problems before, with a restraining order in 1994 and a guilty plea in 1996 to threatening family members. He was ordered to attend a domestic violence program.
But if he did go through a domestic violence class because of a previous incident and now has another incident, does that trouble you?
Of course it does. In many respects. One, maybe the first class didn't work, which would be a real shame. And secondly, if he is guilty of what he's charged, I won't tolerate it. It's that simple.
The Metro Police report indicates the alleged victim, Cassidy's girlfriend, had bruises on her face, scratches on her shoulders, and a bite mark on her arm.
Though Cassidy maintains that he is innocent of these new charges, he nonetheless tendered his resignation today, and Mayor Goodman accepted it, saying it was the best thing for the city. I'm Glen Meek, News 13, inside Las Vegas.
And formal charges are still pending for Cassidy. Clark County school teachers will be getting more money. Governor Kenny Gwynn and the Nevada State Education Association reached an agreement. The deal calls for a 3% bonus for public school teachers in the coming budget cycle, then a 2% raise in the next year. But all that's contingent upon 2 bills passing through the legislature which hold the money needed for raises for school employees. And a bill that would allow parents to turn over their babies to safe places is now law. Governor Gwynn signed the Safe Haven bill, that law giving a legal option to parents who want to give up their babies. The idea is to cut down on the number of babies being abandoned. Now this year, 2 babies were found dead here in trash bins, one just last month behind Harrah's, the other in February. Parents who don't want their babies can now drop them off at any police station or hospital and not face charges. National airlines will stay in the air at least for the next 10 days. A federal judge has issued a temporary restraining order which keeps the company from being grounded. National declared bankruptcy last December. Harrah's Entertainment loaned the airline millions of dollars. Now Harrah's wants to pay off its debt and close the airline. Today's restraining order allows the company to negotiate with other buyers. The airline CEO says he's now in the process of negotiating.
I don't want to predict an outcome on when we will finish, but I'm predicting we will reach an agreement that I think everybody will be quite pleased with. Can't guarantee it, but that's how I view it.
The 2 sides meet again in court June 11th. National, which has been flying in and out of Las Vegas for the past 2 years, continues to serve 9 major cities. You may find yourself awakened by rumblings in the sky this weekend. That's because fighter jets from Nellis will be practicing for the next few weeks. The jets begin training tomorrow, June 15th, and they will through June 15th, and they'll be taking off throughout the day. At times, more than 50 jets will be in the sky at once. Morning flights on the weekend start at 6 a.m., so be warned. And the Special Olympics of Nevada are being held this weekend at Nellis Air Force Base. And to kick things off for the event, the torch run was held at the base's Thunderbird hangar. Opening ceremonies followed with the traditional parade of athletes. These Special Nevada athletes are excited to be competing.
Well, I wish it was more often for all of us. And just sitting at home doing nothing and waiting for this. Well, the time is now and the time to shine is tomorrow.
Competition begins tomorrow morning at 9 and runs through Sunday. These are athletes from across the state, including Las Vegas, Carson City, Mesquite, and Washoe County. Another casino is jumping on the bandwagon to add a surcharge to cover the rising cost of power. Beginning today, the MGM Grand is charging an extra $3 a night per room. The MGM Grand put the energy fee in place to try to recoup some of the money it's losing just to keep the lights on and the AC running. And they're not the first ones to add this charge. The Riviera, Station Casinos, and Harrah's added a surcharge back in April. The nation's biggest casino company has just bought Atlantic City's smallest gambling hall and hotel. Park Place Entertainment officially took over the Claridge today. It's the latest hotel in a chain that includes Caesars Palace, Bally's, and the Paris Las Vegas Resort. Park Place paid $65 million for the Depression-era Claridge. The company plans to renovate and upgrade the hotel. Pharmaceutical company Pfizer is recalling some bottles of Benadryl tonight. The company says some of the sinus and allergy medicine has a mislabeling problem. The bottles are recalled. They're the fast melt formulations. Pfizer says they contain more phenylalanine than the company label indicates, and that could harm those who can't break down the chemical properly. For more information, call the toll-free number 1-800-524-2624 or head to the News 13 website, yourinsidelasvegas.com, and click on links. It's now day 4 in the standoff in Idaho. Still ahead tonight. Now it's down to 5 kids keeping police at bay. We'll have the latest on that standoff coming up. In Los Angeles, police are getting out the riot gear, hoping to ward off any riots. We'll tell you why. And next, a bomb outside a popular nightclub in Israel has killed 17 people and injured dozens. That's all ahead when News 13 at 11 continues.
You're watching News 13 inside Las Vegas. Get the news you want when you want it. The News 13 feed room on yourinsidelasvegas.com. Extended interviews, unforgettable highlights, stories you won't see on TV. The News 13 feed room. Don't just watch the news, choose your news. You're watching Ken Hamilton and Kathy Ray on News 13 inside Las Vegas.
An emergency meeting will be held in the morning by Israel's cabinet members. This comes after a suicide bomber killed 17 people today, including himself, on a crowded beachfront in Tel Aviv. This is new video of the bombing aftermath. 86 others were injured as they were standing in line to get into a popular nightclub. A witness says the bomber was also in that line when the bomb went off. And more tragedy overseas today. The King and Queen of Nepal have been killed by their own son, who also killed his siblings and 5 others. This is file video of the royal family. Police say Nepal's own crown prince shot and killed them, then turned the gun on himself. It's being reported the crown prince had a dispute with his mother, the queen, over his choice of a bride. And the kidnapping situation in the Philippines has taken a turn for the worse tonight. 3 Americans and 17 others were taken hostage Sunday by a group of Muslim separatists. According to reports, now the group has taken over a hospital and as many as 200 new hostages. There is heavy gunfire from both the Muslim group and the military. Several have been killed, but it is not known if the Americans have been injured. And now to the standoff in rural Idaho, where 5 kids refused to surrender to police tonight. A 15-year-old sibling has come out now and is now helping authorities try to coerce the others to do the same. Their mother was arrested Tuesday on charges of child neglect. That's when that standoff began. The kids still in the house range in ages from 16 to 8. The mother's lawyer believes the standoff would end if the children are allowed to stay with some family friends who live nearby. A piece of equipment is now allowing new fathers at sea to see their new bundles of joy and other loved ones. San Diego-based sailors aboard the USS Constellation are now able to stay in touch with a new program using satellites, a camera, and a computer system. The ship stays out at sea for 6 months at a time, leaving sailors out of touch with what goes on at home. Now, with this new program, Seaman Carey Dupuy gets to see his newborn son, and this is him talking through the new device.
This is great. I've never been able to do something like this before. It's good to see, this is the first time I got to see my newborn son.
The system is also used on carriers for college courses and for training. The Navy now plans to expand the program to other ships in the future. The man who created the cartoon Dennis the Menace has died. Hank Ketchum stopped writing the strip in 1994. At that time, his assistants took over. Ketchum had been suffering from heart disease and cancer for some time. He passed away at his Pebble Beach, California home this morning at the age of 81. Dennis the Menace will continue to be written by his assistants. And Senator Joseph Moakley was laid to rest today in Boston. Thousands turned out to say goodbye to one of the most powerful members in Congress. The 15-term congressman died Monday of leukemia. President Bush, former President Clinton, and Al Gore were all in attendance. Moakley was 74 years old. An enormous blaze at an Ohio toy company burned for more than 12 hours this morning. The Little Tykes warehouse in Alliance near Cleveland makes and markets children's products. Firefighters from 12 departments were called in to help. One suffered broken ribs. About 40% of the warehouse contents are boxes for shipping, which fuel the fire. And it's probably no surprise, but the Los Angeles Lakers think they're going to sweep whomever wins the Eastern Finals. That's why city leaders are getting prepared. They pulled out the riot gear just in case it turns out like last year. Fans celebrated a little too hard, which ended with streets of L.A. getting trashed. You know, before today, the record temperature on this day was 105. Yes, we did break that record today. News 13 meteorologist Steve Garry is coming up next to tell us by how much. Your weekend weather is next on News 13.
Now, News 13's neighborhood weather with meteorologist Steve Garry.
Yes, we did break our record today, didn't we?
We're so excited about it, aren't we?
It's got to be excited about something, right?
That's right. You know, that's true. It's something to talk about. It's hotter than normal. You know that if you've been outside.
Hotter than what?
Hotter than way normal. Way normal. That's right. Way above normal. How far? Well, here's the record today. 107 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. After an overnight low of 73. Last time we had this heat or a daytime high near this was back in 1977. We had a high of 105 degrees, so we broke the record, of course, by 2 degrees at McCarran. Elsewhere, it was still hot, of course, over by Henderson near 109 degrees there. North side, 104. Mountains a little cooler with 80 degrees, the high top Mount Charleston. There's your record high for today, and the normal should be 95, so 12 degrees above where we typically should be at this time of year. Now, tomorrow, will it be as hot? I don't think so. There is some wind out there tonight. You probably noticed it, and you'll have some wind through tomorrow. Winds will generally be out of the southwest at around 20 to 30 miles per hour. Daytime highs will be about 5, even 6 degrees cooler than it was today because of the wind picking up. It'll still be warm tomorrow, but we'll see less heat. The jet stream is diving down just a bit, a weak trough sliding in. That's pushing the high pressure area, or helping to push the high pressure area a little bit further out to the east as it migrates. Somewhat cooler air diving into the region, and therefore the high pressure will not be as intense as it's been over us. You can see right now it's at 29.70. Temperatures dropping rapidly in the overnight hours. We'll be getting down. Winds are still blustery at times, but they'll be dropping down around 79 degrees by tomorrow morning. Okay, here are your showers and thunderstorms rolling their way through the midsection of the country, right into areas of Iowa and also portions of the upper Great Plains getting some showers, but we don't have to worry about that. We've got great weather if you like it this way. A little breezy tonight, low of 79. There are those winds in place through tomorrow. 20 to 30 mile per hour sustained winds are possible, especially in the higher elevations tomorrow through Saturday and Sunday. So in order to cool off, of course, we have to get the wind rolling on through the valley. A little trade-off there. The breezes tomorrow and Sunday won't make it feel as hot as it's been.
And you can feel the breezes outside tonight for sure. All right.
A little bit of a convection oven.
Thanks, Steve. Have a good weekend.
You too.
And coming up next, can Barry Bonds continue his tear in baseball? Mario is in for Ron with details next on News 13.
You can change the world. Your hands, your time, your knowledge, your love. Just volunteer. Join Team 13. Together, we can make a difference.
News 13, inside Las Vegas. In May, we were inside your neighborhood, showing you how a sexual predator could be living next door.
He seemed like a normal person.
Inside your safety.
If someone really wants your car, they're going to take it.
With life-saving tips to protect your home and your car from thieves. Inside your relationship, showing you an infidelity kit that can help you uncover an unfaithful partner.
Would you use it? Heck yeah, okay.
Taking you inside the stories that matter to you. News 13, inside Las Vegas.
Now, sports brought to you by the Desert Automotive Group and their 11 dealerships. Now, News 13's Inside Sports with Mario Diaz.
The 51s limped back into Cashman tonight after going 2-5 on the road. Now, here's what's so amazing about this ball club. Prior to their game with Omaha, they were 8 games below 500, but only 4 games out of first. How's that for a diamond wonder? 51's trying to get out of their losing pickle against Omaha. Let me speed this up for a second, because it takes some time for the 51s to finally get their man. In the third, Kit Pillow delivers the knockout punch for the visitors as with the bases full, he just disposes a shot over the wall, and Omaha continues the 51's losing ways with a 7-3 win. In the show, Barry was doing his Bonds Voyage thing again. Against the Rockies, the Giants slugger belts his 29th homer in 54 games. That is the fastest start in Major League history, and it's a sure bet that Senor Bonds has already started the countdown to 70 as the Giants outslug the Rockies by 4, 11-7. The Lakers can probably tell you what the special will be at Spago's for the next 5 nights, but what they can't tell you is who they will be playing in Game 1 of the Finals next Wednesday night at Staples. In Milwaukee, George Karl's green jacket might have been the good luck charm the Bucks needed in order to avoid elimination. For the Sixers, Allen Iverson once again a scoring juggernaut, dropping 46, but he also gets dropped hard here in the first by Scott Williams. Williams gets nailed for the flagrant. Ray Allen, though, plays like an all-state in this one for the Bucks as he pumps in 41 to help Milwaukee lead by 33 at one point, but they barely hold on to only take it by 10, 110-100. At the U.S. Women's Open of Golf, Las Vegas Stephanie Keever cards a 72 to go from 2 under to 1 over. However, the former Bonanza standout is still the low amateur in the event, with plenty of golf still to tee up. Big fight broke out at the Paris tonight, but don't worry, it was actually sanctioned by the Nevada Athletic Commission. That's why we didn't show it to you in the A block. Anyways, Las Vegas, James Creighton duking it out with former lightweight champ Stevie Johnson in a scheduled 10-rounder. Bout is halted in the 9th after Johnston suffers a severe cut off a headbutt. They go to the scorecards where Johnson scores a unanimous decision. So the guy that gets hurt the most in the end picks up the win.
And they stopped the fight, but he won anyway.
Yeah, he had him completely dominated.
All right. Thanks, Mario.
All right.
And we still have a look ahead at your weekend weather conditions when News 13 comes right back.
It's your local news online. You're InsideLasVegas.com. With our webcam network, you can go inside Las Vegas now more than ever. Live scenes from across the valley right to your fingertips. You can drop in on a wedding, go behind the scenes of the News 13 studio, and even add your own webcam for free. Powered by SmartConnect.net, leaders in internet video and visual communications. The latest news from across the valley and around the world. You're InsideLasVegas.com, only on News 13.
Your health. We know it's important to you. That's why we've built a team of healthcare experts to take you inside health like no one else can. Kathy Ray, a trusted anchor and a former nurse. Michael Resnick, a nationally renowned doctor.
I'm Kathy Ray.
And I'm Dr. Michael Resnick. Watch Inside Health for the latest medical breakthroughs.
We take away the guesswork and help you understand what's important to you.
Ray and Resnick, a team you can trust. Inside Health, weekdays at 5, only on News 13. Inside Las Vegas.
And Steve's here once again with a final look at the weekend weather.
I actually changed something.
You did?
I did, since the last forecast.
Really?
I raised the overnight low. It's only going to get down to about 80 degrees now, it looks like.
Is that a record low high?
No, not yet, but still warmer than normal at night and both in the daytime. It will be windy. Watch out for that tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Steve. That does it tonight for News 13. Thanks for watching. Remember, All My Children didn't air today because of the breaking news that airs at 2:05 in the morning. Have a good weekend.